In the Mimic's Veil today, we look ahead to 2025 and all the big releases, including Nintendo Switch 2, Assassin's Creed Shadows, GTA 6, and Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector.
I genuinely can't believe how close we are to Citizen Sleeper 2 coming. It only kind of hit me today. It's like weeks, literally, or days. I mean, if you think about it. But I'm really looking forward to Citizen Sleeper 2. I think Citizen Sleeper 1 was it really just it had an impact. Is that? Not a game I ever expected to enjoy, not a game I expected to be as enthralled by as I was, and it was just such a special game. And I really hope that this lives up to it, and will not lives up to it because that's unfair, because I think the developer, he'll be feeling an incredible amount of pressure, I'd imagine, coming out with this.
Yeah.
But I hope it does the first game justice. Does that kind of make sense of what I'm trying to get at? Because I don't think it needs to go and surpass it, and I don't necessarily want this game to come along and go like, oh, we've improved this and we've done this and we've added this. I'm like, I just want another one of Citizen Sleeper with a bit more of a story to it. I don't want them to change anything else because I don't think it needs it.
I don't think it's going to be a massive deviation. I think it's going to be the same thing.
More of the same.
In fact, the only difference I can tell just from seeing any coverage of it whatsoever is it's yellow instead of red now.
Yeah.
Like the main theme that's it. So I've got every faith that it's going to be the same. What's the guy's name? Gareth Damian Martin, isn't it? The lead developer of it. Jump over the age. They posted a top 4 games of 2024 that I shared in our Discord a few days ago, and they're all really cool games. So it's great taste. It's got Lorelei on there, Arctic Eggs on there, Indica is on there as well.
So because he plays all the same games that Benson's played, then he's got great taste.
He's just clearly a fucking cool guy. And and even cooler, in fact, because Before the Green Moon is one that I hadn't even heard of, which I need to check out. So yeah, I have every faith that this is going to be another one, which is going to be odd because, like you said, the original Citizen Sleeper took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting to like it. I was like, that's just text. You're not doing anything. But how it managed to create that atmosphere with just text and some pretty simple visuals, albeit really stylistic and cracking UI, it was amazing. And the soundtrack was my most listened to album of last year. So Amos Roddy, who did the soundtrack,
really
was my most listened to artist of 2024. So yeah, it's really good. I know you started it, didn't you, Lewis? But didn't you go into the DLC too early?
I made a terrible mistake, and I went into the DLC. I accidentally went into the DLC and couldn't back out, and then that sort of the wheels came off. So I didn't want to do the DLC until later.
That's a real shame because that's such a you game. It's like what is it? Disco Elysium, but with dice. You love die.
There's dice in Disco Elysium, as you know, Ben.
Oh, is it? Not real ones though. Not like you don't see them, do you?
Yeah.
Isn't it just in the background?
You push a button, then it comes up with a number.
Yeah, but you don't see the dice, do you?
I think so.
Do you?
I think so. They don't come in roll on the screen. It's not like what's that game? The dice game.
Escape.
That's the one.
The dice game.
Oh, I've got another dice game. We'll talk about that next week, though. Let's talk about this while we're here. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Citizen Sleeper 2. I think it's going to be the first one that might be pushing for high scores. And if we were to do a fantasy critic, I would be fighting for my life to get this one on my roster.
I think we should do a fantasy critic. What do you think?
Yeah.
Will we do it?
Lewis will do his first few picks and then not touch it again.
You notice I didn't say anything. Let's do it. I'm just staying quiet.
Yeah. You guys go ahead. Whatever.
On you go.
Look out for it in the Discord in the coming days.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that's coming out. January, isn't it? Any other biggies like early doors?
Well, see, the one that I've got my eye on in January, which is not a game of the series that I really have much affinity with, but for some reason I'm very much drawn to. Now I can't even remember the name of it. Dynasty Warriors Origins.
Ooh,
And I don't. It comes out on the 17th, and I'm like, I feel like I would quite enjoy this game at the moment. I feel like all that kind of not auto battling, but that kind of Muso style and that just like battling hordes of people and enemies would have quite a lot of fun at the minute. I think it'd be a nice wee game to start the year off with. Not that I don't have enough games to start the year off with, but like, I mean, like for a new one in particular, I feel like it something that could be fun. In a series I've never played any of them, and I feel like this being Origins and kind of almost like the not reinvention because it's going to be the same style of game, but the kind of reboot of the series a little bit. It feels like one that might be worth jumping into, but that's the other one I've got my eye on for January, really. I think that's the only month in January. But
yeah, I've never really got on with a Muso game. Like I've tried the 2 Zelda ones, and they were like okay, but it was all a bit. I don't know. It was a bit sort of chaotic and mindless, I guess, which is good at times, you know.
Used to love Dynasty Warriors back in the day, on the PS2. My friend's house. Yeah, good fun.
Fancy jumping back in?
Maybe. I like kind of the same as you. I've tried the second Zelda one.
Hyrule Warriors.
That's the one. And
Age of Calamity?
Sure.
That was it, wasn't it? Yeah.
It's not so much.
I mean, it was running on a Switch though. So.
Yeah, so it should have been good.
Should have been good. Another thing that will be running on the Switch that I will I'm kind of interested in is Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
Yes.
I do like a Donkey Kong Country game.
Yeah. I think my son would quite like this as well.
Yeah.
I think it would be one that potentially, if he gets any pennies for his birthday, then I mean, it might encourage him to buy that. Like,
yeah. Just
I've got your pennies. This is what you're getting.
yeah.
Your pennies come in the form of an eShop gift card.
Yes.
There's your pennies. Yeah, I like Donkey Kong Country. I actually played the original one a little bit over the Christmas break as well. Just
did you?
Dabbled in that because I don't think I ever finished it back in the day, but it's good. Holds up. And Tropical Freeze is perfection for a 2D.
Tropical Freeze is one that I regret letting go. I traded it in. Wish I had kept it. Yeah.
That's such a you game.
I've never finished Donkey Kong Country either.
Well, it's much easier on NSO.
Is it?
You can just rewind or save scum and.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah.
I've got a save file there. For me, I don't know if this is January or February. I have conflicting reports, but Tales of Iron 2.
Ooh. I think it's early February, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see January and February, but anyway, it's really early in the year. I love that. The first game, I played it just last year, actually.
All that time ago.
All that time ago. It feels like a lot longer. But yeah, I'm looking forward to more mouse-based, rat-based combat.
Yeah, sexy rats.
Sexy rats.
Yeah, the first one didn't really stick for me, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if they put some more forgiving difficulty modes in this one, that'd be nice.
You played on story, didn't you?
Yeah. Still found it too grueling. I need a Yoshi's Crafted World mode or something.
I mean, I think that poor wee rat is going to find it grueling in February though, because I mean, I don't know how I'm going to manage February. There's so many games I want to play in February.
Oh shit! Yeah, you've got your Goro.
We've got Pirate
game, haven't
Yakuza.
you?
Yeah, we do. We've got Pirate Yakuza. That's towards the end, but we've got Assassin's Creed as well, which I like an Assassin's Creed game. And this is it finally coming a few months delayed, so that'll be mid-February. So I'm really looking forward to Shadows. Like,
Are you worried about that at all? And worried
No,
about
I'm generally not.
Ubisoft?
Like, it's going to be what it's going to be. Like, I feel like if they hadn't had the kind of bit of controversy, not controversy, but they hadn't get the kind of kick up the arse they got with Outlaws, that they then decided, right, okay, let's just take a wee bit of time with this and just make sure it's right and make sure we can release it on Steam at the same time and make sure, which is the right thing to do. I mean, look, if you think about what they're doing and compared, look at what Xbox are now doing. It's like, right, okay, here's coming the Outer Worlds 2 and it's coming to PlayStation 5 on the same day that it's coming to the Xbox. And it's like, that's just the world we're in now, and I think Ubisoft need to accept that as much as anybody else, that if you want to release these games and you want them to be successful, you need to hit Steam Day 1, because that's where a huge amount of the gaming population is now, particularly in PC. If you're wanting to go through your Ubisoft browser, you're backing up the wrong tree to begin with, and I feel like that's a lot of the reason where the delay came from. And I'm not that worried about the game. I mean, it'll be Ubisoft
solid,
game will be solid. It's never going to run perfectly. It's going to be complete. There's going to be so much to do that you're not going to care. And I think it'll just be a solid game. I'm quite looking forward to it. I think I'm not sure where that came from, but
I like it. I'm glad you feel that strongly about it. It's nice. I suppose it's not concerned because I don't really care. But yeah, the problem is you've got, like, obviously Ghost of Tsushima beat them to the punch a few years ago, and then Ghost of Yotai is coming out potentially this year. Supposed to be,
I think
right?
it is 25. Yeah.
I don't think the actual date's confirmed because I just think
they said, but yeah.
Maybe they should release it on Valentine's Day as well. Just go head to head.
Was that coming along with Silk Song? Is that not like usually?
Oh yeah, the running joke over the last 6 years or whatever it's been.
Pretty sure the first time you said it, this is it's going to be February 14th of 2025 or something.
Pretty sure that's exactly it.
We should find that old recording. But yeah, I just wonder. I don't know. I wonder if this moment has passed almost for that feudal Japan setting, and
I mean,
people are fatigued with Ubisoft and maybe fatigued with that as well as a setting now. I don't know. It's just a bit like
people like an Assassin's Creed though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They can find what bits of it that they like, and Mirage was actually quite good, and Valhalla was good, and you have a core fan base for Assassin's Creed that are going to, whether the setting's not right or whether it's kind of missed its mark, I think it'll still do well.
Yeah.
I always think of Laurie when Assassin's Creed comes up.
Yeah, he's a big Assassin's Creed fan.
Vanilla, aren't they? The other one,
Laurie.
Patron. Thank you, Laurie. But I looked at his top games from 2024, and it took all my willpower to not reply with, indies exist. But now I've said it on a podcast, so hey, even better.
But we did talk about two games there, and I feel like I really washed over like the Pirate Yakuza.
You did.
Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I think that's the official title.
It is. Brilliant title.
I mean, that's if you say that Assassin's Creed Vanilla, I think Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii is as far away from vanilla as you can get.
Yeah.
I expect this game to be batshit crazy. Like it's just gonna. I can't wait. Like, I just cannot wait. Particularly now after finishing Yakuza 0 and kind of getting that origin story of Majima and then seeing how fucking mental he is now. Yeah. Like, to go, I'm really looking forward to this game.
Really, and I assume this is going to be a shorter one as well.
I think it will be along with like the guys guiding, like man, who raised his name. I'm feeling it more kind of on that side of things. I'm quite surprised it's not on Game Pass, given that one was, and it's not. still time, I guess, for it to be announced to come into Game Pass, but you don't know.
But what will be on Game Pass is Avowed.
It will,
And I assume you're looking forward to that as well.
I am looking forward to that more since I was a bit worried about that one. But I think the more we heard the previews, like just before Christmas, and a lot of the previews come out, and it really kind of settled my nerves on that. And at the end of the day, Obsidian know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And one thing, it's going to be a well-written game, and that's what you kind of care about with Obsidian.
Yeah.
It's made me want to go and play the Outer Worlds again, or try and play the Outer Worlds again, because I started that at the wrong time, and totally fell off it. But I think Avowed will be very good. I think I will enjoy that game muchly.
Meanwhile, our beloved patron Grumpy Mark will be presumably locked away in a dark room playing Civilization 7 from February until the end of time. Because that's his vice, isn't it?
Yeah. I've tried to get into these games. I've got one on Switch.
Yeah, same.
And it's like, I just have no time.
The on-ramp is far too steep, I think, isn't it? You're just like, why? Not ready
to the
for
point
this.
that I was like, I am going to absorb none of this.
Yeah.
So why even bother?
Exactly the same experience. But yeah, we did it. We asked in Discord earlier, and Mark said that's a big one for him. But yeah, I can't imagine any of us touching it as much as we like strategy and stuff like that over here.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's just too unwieldy.
Too much of a time sink for me.
Yeah.
I'd have to play Football Manager.
Yeah. On a smaller front, still in February though, is Morsels. Remember that from the Indie World?
Oh yeah.
Smaller front, morsels. This guy.
Hey, that wasn't deliberate. Yeah, so Annapurna published, Sam Webster doing the music,
Friend.
and yeah,
the show.
friend of previous show, and looks cracking. Like, just looks really.
This is a weird looking one, isn't it?
Yeah, really colourful, sort of gross looking. It looks like a Lewis game.
It looks like, what was that indie game that was plants?
The one that that Metroidvania I was talking about.
No, is that not? Yeah, that's something else.
Ultros.
Nah, yeah, that's one that.
Well, that's plants.
Yeah.
Not that. There's something else. I can't remember what it was. Just ignore me.
Flower.
Some other game.
Plant.
Flower. It's going to really annoy me.
Botany Manor. There's lots of plants in that.
Yep.
Should really
Pine.
Game with
Game with botanical title. No idea.
mutant.
But Atomic Crops.
Yes.
Boom. There we go. As soon as you
That
said
was it.
mutant there. Okay, yeah. That was worth
That was worth it.
30 seconds of our life. But yeah, the whole like CRT filter and everything on this looks a bit Animal Wellian, I think, as well. It could be this year's Animal Well. Yeah. I'm excited to play this one.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it. I'm just going on the sort of still that's there.
Yeah. What I will say, Lewis, is the striking art style is by Toby Dixon,
Of
who
course.
previously worked on Nidhogg 2 and Atomic Crops.
Oh,
Look at you.
look at that.
Recognises
Industry
an art style, that man.
analyst. Yeah.
It's right. Yeah, right. It is right there in front of us.
Mad.
Atomic Crops.
Yeah.
Well, he's definitely got the art style down.
He has. We like that.
Does indeed. What about
Strong.
also there is Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
I've considered it. I mean, the only my
Yeah.
experience is whatever one was on Switch a few years ago. The 3D DS one.
Rise. Oh, and that one. Oh, God, yeah. So Rise was the more recent one, and the Generations wasn't it?
Ultimate or something like that.
Yeah.
And I have no idea. I was like, what's my motivation for going after these monsters? What have they done to me? And so, and I know I've sort of joked in the past that to play a Monster Hunter game, you also need like an instruction book that is like a tome.
Thick. Yeah.
But for some reason, I'm thinking I might give this one a shot. I'm hoping that they'll make some quality of life and just make it a bit easier for newbies, because I think they need to.
I think they're gradually making them more accessible, aren't they? I think Worlds was supposed to be a step in that direction, and then Rise was apparently the user-friendly, noob-friendly one. So I wouldn't be surprised if this makes more concessions for that, a wider audience. But
folks who love
big.
Monster Hunter love it. Like, remember Nate speaking about Monster Hunter to just like, just shut up about Monster Hunter, Nate. None of us understand it.
But it's that whole thing. I think Max as well, to a certain extent, was like that, wasn't he?
I was gonna say
and
that.
was very much like, oh, come on, just join our game and we'll teach you.
Oh yeah, it's one of those games.
Yeah, and that's
put
to the
loose
likes of
on
us
him.
is like, hang on. So yeah, I can't see us playing that.
No.
But yeah, February is stacked, isn't it? Even that Split Fiction, which I don't think I'm going to play, but because I found It Takes Two pretty repellent.
I didn't get through It Takes Two, well, mainly because I did try and play it with my husband.
Yeah,
and
same.
it was a bad combination from the beginning, and I never ever found like anybody else to play it with. So
No,
I never got it very far.
no.
I think that.
So, yeah.
I mean, anything that makes you play with somebody else is just like no.
It's not for us,
No.
is it? Let's be honest. We are solitary creatures when it comes to gaming.
It's like I would love to play Overcooked, but just be able to
So
play it myself.
Just shouting at yourself the whole time.
There's quite a good VR game like that on the Quest, and I can't
Is it?
right now remember what it is, but it's like it's something mechanic or something, and it's made by Alchemy Apps, who made like Job Simulator and Vacation Simulator and everything. But it's like basically one bit of it. So there's like 4 stations, and you're making like different bits of food, and each of you have like to make different meals, and they've got like bits of the ingredients in each of the stations. You need to pass them like between each other, but because you're doing it with your hands, it actually works quite nice. So that you're, and one of the other bits is a mechanic, so you're working on this car, and then some of you have got certain tools. You need to pass all the tools to each other and all different bits. That's actually quite good in VR. You'd quite like it.
That sounds alright.
But it's only on Quest, so you can't play it. I digress.
I think things start to taper off a little bit in March, possibly. I think one that Tyler called out in Discord was AI Limit,
Never heard
which
that. Is that like after all those AI Chronicles and all that? Is that the same thing?
I don't know.
What's that other one called?
The Sonymnium files. or whatever it's
Sonymnium
called.
files or something, yeah.
Sonymnium. No idea. But yeah, this is apparently Souls, like an anime Souls-like, which yeah, I mean Tyler calls it out. He's got pretty good taste, so might be good.
Questionable.
One to watch out for, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the one that kind of calls out to me in March is Atomfall. Because that's come to Game Pass as well, which immediately makes you think, well, I'd maybe give it a go. And it's made by Chinese, is it? I'm sure it's made by Chinese Room, is that right? The ones that made...
Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
And
Yeah, so
the
it's-
Scottish one from last year. What was that?
Still Weeks of Deep.
Yeah. Is it them? Surely it can't be them again.
I think, I might be making that up, but I think it is.
Wow.
And there was something about when they showed that at, like, because it's very British. You look at it, it's very, very, very British.
Yeah.
And it's that whole kind of, it's almost like Fallout in Britain is how I'm thinking about that game. So I think that could be pretty good, particularly when it's gone on Game Pass and you can just give it a go.
Yeah. I've never played a Fallout game or anything like that. So
I like Fallout.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
What?
Let's see who. What?
Really? You've never played Fallout?
No.
Really?
Yeah. Why would I? They all released in the Dark Ages, didn't they? When
I
was
suppose it's not what
pre-Switch.
you've got. You can get them. They're just readily available.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll play them one day. I just don't. Generally, I generally don't like first-person games anyway. Like, yeah. So I can't imagine I like it.
I think that was a bit off the time, I think. Going back to
talking to-
3 or even 4, maybe don't hold up so well.
I'm talking absolute nonsense. That Titanfall was made by Rebellion. I don't know
good.
why I had in my room that it was made by a Chinese room. I think
The
I've
main
been
thing
linking
is-
it to what it's gone. Everyone's going to the Rapture. I think that was in my head.
Yeah, exactly. First person, wandering around post-apocalyptic UK. Easy mistake to make. No judgment here. No judgment here. Lewis, anything else from that sort of first quarter that tickles your particular fancy?
I don't think so,
No.
to be honest.
What about that Lost Records?
Yeah, is that
Gleam and
the...
Rage?
I get that mixed up. That's not the Lost in Random one, is it?
No,
No.
it's the one that's more like it's a kind of spiritual successor to Life is Strange and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got that kind of like, you know how you liked, what's the game where you walk from left to right with a guitar?
Oh,
Artful
That
Escape.
one.
Artful
That
Escape.
one. Yeah. It's got that kind of nostalgia to it, I think, that makes me think maybe you'll like it. It seems to be very like 90s influenced.
Do you get the shred on the guitar?
Presumably. There's definitely guitars in the trailer.
Day one.
I'm sure it's releasing episodically as well. I don't think
is it?
so.
Maybe
Yeah,
not
I
day
think
one.
it's just.
Yeah, it's always an interesting approach. But yeah, if that's nice little narrative, that would be cool. I would like to get into Life is Strange, actually. I've never played those either. And with obviously the last one wasn't particularly good, was it? But I've got that True Colours somewhere. I should give that a bash.
True.
And it is Don't Nod that's making it.
Right.
Who did make some of Life is Strange, didn't he?
Yeah.
What
They're
about
French, aren't
Tales
they?
of the Shire?
No, that's going to be shite.
Tales of the Shite.
I mean, I'm absolutely gutted that I'm sitting here saying because I love Lord of the Rings, but there's no way in earth that game's going to
I was watching a video just not too long before we started and going through some of the releases, and that came up. And it is just, they were like, it's doing all the things that hobbits like to do. The gardening, the arguing over petty nonsense, none of the going on big adventures. So, yeah.
Great. The other one for me in March was Wonder Stop. Do you remember that?
That's the thingy one.
The Stanley Parable guys. Or guy, I don't know. Yeah, but this is the one where female former warrior starts her own tea shop, and then the trailer like stops, doesn't it? Before you presume there's going to be a twist to that, but so yeah, I assume it's not just running a tea shop. I'm assuming the fact that she used to be a warrior is going to come into play at some point. So I'm intrigued.
Well, that's what they want
by
you
that.
to think.
Yeah, maybe. If imagine you buy it and then it's just a farming sim. No. But yeah, the art style looks incredible, and basically because you're so positive about the Stanley Parable, Lewis,
Oof.
I think that I assume the narrative's going to be strong as well. So I think this could be a big one.
I'm getting that
I'm
mixed up.
interested in this now.
What's the name of the one that was made, the Dead Cells one?
Windblown.
Windblown, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm getting mixed up with
W.
that. I get those two mixed up in my head. But yeah,
Too many games.
Wonderstop does look good. Far too many
Oh,
games.
Windblown might go 1.0 in 2025.
I'd imagine it will at some
After
point in
issue.
25.
It's pretty polished already. So
Speaking
Yeah.
of Stanley Parable, that's on PS Plus. Ooh. This month.
PSA for PS Plus. Yeah, how long does that take? Slight tangent. How long does that take to beat?
To beat,
Hours?
you can do a run in
10 minutes.
probably less than that, like 1 or something like that. if you
Right.
if you do what you're told.
Okay, but like on average, what did it take you?
I don't know, a few hours. You really, I could say that. I said that in WhatsApp the other
Loads to
day.
do, innit? Depending
just-
on what you want to explore. So you can
Yeah.
probably take as long and as little as you like, but probably 4 or 5 hours maybe.
Playing for the narration. You know what the narrator has to say.
Yeah.
Very well written. But you need to be in the right mood to play it, much like any other game.
Yes. So
And we know that Phil Wins get like bad taste in games. I mean,
He
you don't
does.
like Arco, so
shocking.
Well, I say he does. But yeah, I'll make it the top of his non-2024 games for last year.
What a guy.
see, bad
Must
taste.
just need to be in the right mood. Phil, you need to be in the right mood.
Yeah. You do. What else? What else looks good? What else is of
Stuff
note?
that hasn't got a date,
Yeah.
because we're the
Well,
looming
there's a lot of that.
launch announcement of the Switch 2, whatever it's going to be called. So you've got the potential of a new 3D Mario, and
Yep.
Metroid Prime 4,
Yeah.
all that good
And
stuff.
If rumours are true, by the time this episode drops, you will know all about the Switch 2. So, yeah.
Let's speculate. What do we think? So we can
Doesn't
be.
it look pretty? Doesn't it come in the end of March? Yeah.
Are you both day one
No.
Yeah.
on it? No, Alex, you fucking buy everything.
I'm saying no now, but
He
you'll
says
find
no,
out.
he's talking
Yeah,
shit.
like, come on. I'm allowed to just sit here and pretend to myself that I'm not.
Yeah,
You know?
let him be coy.
No. Yeah. I mean, if it's a day one 3D Mario, then absolutely.
Yeah.
Imagine if that's some secret they've kept, if there is a 3D Mario. There has to be one in the works,
There
surely.
has to
but-
be.
Oh. No, they've just quit 3D.
I know, but the fact that there's nothing's come out about it.
But they've been pretty good at keeping secrets.
They-
Like,
they have,
imagine what was it? Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah, I guess.
Nobody
I guess so.
knew anything about that, and then they announced it and then released it 3 months later.
Everyone's too nervous after Lilac Wars Racing, whatever it was called, Star Wars, Star Fox Racing.
I think everyone's just scared of Nintendo's lawyers. They will fuck you up.
Well, are you
yeah.
day one? Would you be day one?
Of course. Of course. Yeah. And yeah, I think my only I'm going to get it regardless, but I don't it's obviously I don't think it's going to have the same impact as
Oh, of
the
course not.
first iteration of the Switch. So I think people's expectations need to be like it's just going to be
It's going to be a Switch Pro.
of that.
I mean, really.
Well,
Gonna be
yeah,
a total
yeah.
flop, guaranteed.
I think it will be less. Yeah, it's not going to have the same impact because we're all used to having hybrid systems now. Even like in terms of how that got us all into indies in the first place. That's now certainly for Alex and I. We're now playing him on Steam Deck
Yeah.
for the most part. So I think, yeah, they're really. If it's beefy enough to have proper third-party support, and then obviously you've got the main draw being the first-party games, then I think it'll be really solid. I just don't think it's going to like light up the world anywhere near the same way as the first one.
Be quite interesting to see how they tackle like cross generation as well, because I mean obviously you had like when the Switch and the Wii U they were making games for both platforms, but you're literally going to be able to play the Switch games on this. So I mean, are they going to make like a bit like Xbox did, where like play anywhere type thing, buy this version of the game and get the best version of the game type thing, or are they going to? It's going to be an interesting one because it's probably like, although like back in the day with like the Wii and you could put the GameCube games in it, I feel like that's a very different time we're in now.
Yeah.
So, interesting to see.
Yeah, and those. I mean, they've said that Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is Beyond, isn't it? It's going to be on the current Switch, but presumably
It's whether
that'll
a new
be-
Mario game would be on a current Switch.
Yeah, and I assume Xenoblade Chronicles X is going to be on both as well.
Yeah.
So that was another one that both Tyler and Mark in Discord again said they're looking forward to that. Xenoblade Chronicles X. And imagine that, yeah, will they try and time it with Switch 2? Is it?
I mean, I don't know. You could guess when this is coming. I always thought it would come in March, but the longer it went on, I'm not sure whether it does come in end of March now, in line with the kind of same release time as the original Switch. I think you could be looking at the summer. But
I don't know. I think it's still. Obviously, you can see why they didn't release it pre-Christmas, because obviously they want to squeeze as much juice out of the original Switch as possible. So I could imagine them doing a much quicker announcement to release than previously. But
I suppose it just depends where they are in production cycles and stuff. That's the thing, because they're so good at keeping things under wraps, except all the leaks we got just before Christmas with the accessories and stuff, and finally actually get to see the thing, which is a shame. It's kind of taking away some of that magic. You're a bit like, ooh, we know what it looks like now.
yeah,
So is it?
yeah. But I haven't paid any attention to them whatsoever. So it'll still be.
I mean, I've only seen the picture, but
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen pictures. I'm going to love it if it's one of those Star Fox racing things that Nintendo did. And someone's leaked it, and now they're sacked.
Yeah. So in terms of other stuff, or anything else on Switch 2 before we move on? Any other thoughts?
no, just looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. Yeah. New 3D Mario. I think that's all it needs. I'm not really asked about a Mario Kart, but I'm sure they'll do one anyway.
Yes.
Take a note. We should do an episode about the most overrated franchises.
Wash your mouth out with soap.
Anywho,
Final Fantasy. Yeah.
I was thinking I'm quite looking forward to early access for Slay the Spire 2. Because that's 2025. And that is like...
Is it early 25? I feel like that was one.
I think it is, yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
not far away.
Yeah.
I still don't understand the first one, so...
Oh.
Like...
I think... When was the last time you tried to play it?
Oh, I don't know. A while ago.
I think you should try it again. Because post Balatro, roguelike loving Alex is
Mate.
more than equipped to play.
It's a bit
Slay
like
the Spire.
Inscription. I should probably try that one again. So.
Definitely.
Yes. Essential.
But see, with Slay the Spire, first time I played it, I was like, this is the most unsatisfying game I think I've ever played. Because nothing... Remember, I was like, the guy just sort of
There's no
jiggles a little
feedback.
bit. Yeah. I was like, there's just nothing to it. And then it just grabbed me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wonder if they might make this one a bit more sort of tactile and give a bit more of that, because obviously I think it was the standard bearer for quite a long time, but now games like obviously Balatro's come along, and you get the little fire coming up, you get all the satisfying noises and stuff, and I feel like there's trends in roguelikes that make you think if they just released Slay the Spire, but with different characters and different card, that's not going to be enough, is it? But there is an element of like, I feel like this is just right. Dad's home now. Slay the Spire 2's out. All you pretenders, fuck off. It's gonna be like, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be great, and it's going to be interesting getting in on it during that early access period and seeing how they balance it out, how they develop it, and stuff like that. That's going to be fascinating to watch that develop throughout the year. But yeah, we have to mention the biggie.
Yeah,
it hasn't got a. Go on, what is it?
It's
Fable.
that
That.
Grand Theft Auto 6.
There we go. I thought you were going to say something silly then.
I couldn't think of anything.
That's not.
So
you
wanted to.
Grand Theft Auto 6 isn't coming in 2025, so what's the point? There's no chance this comes out in 2025.
No.
None.
You'll end up picking it for your fantasy critic, I bet you. You'll get the first pick.
This is psychology.
This is getting March 2026 written all over it.
Reckon?
Yeah.
What do you think, Lewis? Do you agree with Alex?
When is it? Q4 or something this year?
Yeah.
Nah, I think it's going to release end of November, just in time for Christmas.
I reckon you two should have a bet. We should have a pizza bet.
Pizza bet. Lewis can take me to his pizza restaurant.
I can.
Where he takes all his friends. And colleagues. Yeah.
See you there this time next year.
Hang on, what if Lewis wins? What happens?
I'll take him to his pizza restaurant.
Okay, fine. That's nice.
There's a Pizza Geeks opening up in Edinburgh as well.
Ooh.
That's where we went year before last, I think. Isn't it? Doesn't matter. Who cares?
No idea what you're talking about. Okay, sure. Oh, you mean in London?
Yeah.
Is that what it was called?
Pizza Geeks. Wasn't it?
Wasn't it Pizza Pilgrims?
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Pizza
Same thing.
Well, thanks at least for giving us the episode title with that utter bollocks. Okay, GTA.
It is called there is a franchise, a chain called Pizza Geeks.
Okay. Well,
There's
then we
pizza
can't
punks as well.
can't call the episode that. Yeah, I haven't loved GTA since Vice City, so I'm not really. I'm not that excited about it.
Similar vibe for this, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Similar area. I think that's probably the one thing. I'm intrigued to see how it rolls out and the media storm around it and everything else. That's fascinating. But in terms of gameplay and stuff, I'm not really.
I mean, I've seen everyone saying if this releases in 2025, it's Game of the Year written all over it. I don't think it is. I've just got a feeling that it's not going to be up to the standards that people are expecting this game to be, and they're going to try and push it, and it's not going to work. But
What you mean technically?
not necessarily technically. I just think the way, like, see how they showed those trailers and stuff, and it was all how everything was moving towards all the social media stuff and all those different things you were seeing, and like, I think it's just not all going to come together.
It's going to fall apart. Maybe.
I'm going to go to their office and ask if I can play a pre-release build. Just knock on the door.
Yeah.
Rockstar North, Edinburgh.
You say, can you please release this in November?
End of November. I've got a bet on it.
I can pop to Take Two because obviously, I went there last year.
You went there
Chat
last
with
year?
them, so between us, we can maybe see if we can pull a few strings.
I can talk to my pal who teaches me yoga that knows people that used to work at or still work at Rockstar. So because he used to develop games, get it in somewhere. Like,
I'm sure he will bend over backwards to help you.
he will. He'd be more than accommodating. Very flexible. He's very flexible.
I was trying to make a clean dad joke, Alex, and you made it sexual.
That's the noise it gets made when I try and bend over backwards.
How to move on from that?
Let's move on to Xbox because let's insert the Xbox section here because in theory Xbox have got a very good 2025 lined up because I've already mentioned Fable briefly. We've already mentioned The Outer Worlds 2 briefly. We've talked about Avowed.
We have.
We've also got South of Midnight.
Yes.
Which I'm really looking forward to. So like I think Fable gets pushed to 26. I don't think Fable comes this year. But I think even if you still get Outer Worlds 2, Avowed, Doom. I didn't mention Doom. You get Doom.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
So like, Xbox are in for a good year if those games hit the way. We'll look at how they finished the year with Indiana Jones, which was what Eurogamer's Game of the Year.
Was it?
Yeah. So it's. I think all of those games I'm looking forward to. There's usually like some Xbox ones I'm like, it's not really a me game, but all of those games I'll play. My Xbox will actually get played this year, which I'll be really happy to hear. But plenty to look forward to on Game Pass. Game Pass is going to still have a subscription to the end of 2026.
Nice.
So I'll get my money's worth this year.
Yeah. No, I think Xbox is going to have a decent year. I think Nintendo, you'd have to assume, have got a lot in the chamber for Switch 2. PlayStation, obviously, we know some of what they're putting out, but not. It doesn't seem to be sort of stacked this year.
I think they always said 25 with Wolverine when it was first. Or did we get a year? I can't remember, but I think Wolverine's probably next year.
Yeah.
You know what irritates me about PlayStation is that they ride on being PlayStation. They've got fuck all coming. They've done fuck all with their headset. Just irritates me.
Yeah.
Just rest on the laurels. We're PlayStation.
But they're back to, I mean, this thing I've always kind of said, they're almost back to PS3, the PlayStation, where they just feel like they're
arrogant.
It's that arrogance that's come back, where they really lost that, I feel, in the PS4 era and get really back down to earth. And I feel like the success with the PS4's just pushed them back up there again.
But then you got obviously we mentioned Ghost of Yotai. There's also Death Stranding 2, which is going to be a juggernaut on the beach. That's I mean, if you just releasing those 2 games, that's pretty big.
It's going to be a good, yeah. I mean, and I think there will be stuff we don't know about with PlayStation, and there is a rumored state of play or whatever at some point this month as well to announce some new things. But I don't know. I don't even know what I want from PlayStation. I think that's the thing.
Well, it's become my platform to play big third-party games as well. So, Elden Ring, Night Rain.
Yeah.
That will be the platform that I play it on.
Same.
If I play it.
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah. Again, that's a PlayStation arse game, isn't it? MGS3.
Because it was always thought that was coming in 24, but it never even really got delayed, did it? It just never materialised? It's probably the best way of putting it.
Yeah.
So just imagine that to be fairly early 25.
Maybe.
I think.
But basically,
no date,
there's loads. There's loads and loads and loads. There's that Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Expedition 33. Yeah, I'm really.
Which looks
that's really got me.
cracking. Yeah.
Are these PlayStation exclusives?
No.
No.
Games general we're talking now. But
Just talking.
Oh, I think you're talking PlayStation.
Borderlands 4, but I mean, I've never played a Borderlands game. It doesn't seem to me like.
Not asked.
And you've got the Skate Stories due to come this year as another, because that's been thingied for a couple of years from Devolver, so you should get that.
Yeah.
This year.
There's Rematch. The
Sifu.
from the Sifu. Yeah. I think that could be
Is it
good
the Rocket
fun.
League one?
Yeah, Rocket League with humans.
Football.
It's amazing.
And then was it Baby Steps? Remember that one that was in
Oh,
the
yeah.
State of
Oh,
Play,
yeah,
with the funny walking guy, because you're controlling
what does it say?
time.
It's not Ben Fogels, is it? Ben Fogels' Baby Steps. Bennett Foddy, that's it. Bennett Foddy's Baby Steps. Yeah, that looks funny. Death Stranding like.
It's not like Octodad, but more realistic.
Yeah. Yeah. Hyperlight Breaker is supposed to come out into early access as well.
Is that it? Is it not already in early access? Or is it just coming to early access?
So. Yeah, I think it was always
what it
coming to early access. So that's going to be an interesting one.
Released.
Lewis, did you ever play Hyperlight Drifter?
No.
Oh,
In fact, I started it, played about half an hour, and then never played it again. For no apparent reason.
I think if I could physically force you to play one game, I would force you to play that.
Yeah. Hyperlight Drifter.
It's such a you game. Yeah. It is cool. It's challenging. It is it's very confusing. It's got all the ingredients that you love. It's one player.
You've got the physical as well, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I do. Yep, indeed. Well remembered. And then Little Nightmares 3 is the other one that's a Lewis game that's coming out. But you're a bit
didn't
unsure
really
about that,
when
aren't
you
you?
played it.
Forget that. Reanimal.
Did you?
Is that this year?
I don't know if they dated Reanimal. I don't know if I'd expect it to be this year, but I can't be certain.
That's the one I want.
I mean, I forgot an Alex game in Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. So that's due 2025. It's the Amy Hennig one, the one with Captain America and Black Panther.
Right. I don't know anything about that at all.
Same.
It's quite very cinematic. There's been a couple of trailers and stuff. Maybe not seen too much, but it's due this year, so that's a big game. That is definitely a me game.
Yeah.
What about Pokemon?
ZA, is that right?
Yeah.
Legends.
ZA, yeah. Confusing.
I did like Arceus, to be fair. And that's the only Pokemon game that's ever stuck with me. So, yeah, I'll keep an open mind. Maybe. That is one where you really do have to be in the right mood, though.
Yes.
Like, very occasionally, I'll go, I'll try a Pokemon game. And 9 times out of 10, it'll be like, oh, this is utter bollocks. But Arceus
You go back and try
the
the original ones, no?
the Game Boy ones?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you had to be there.
Yeah, probably.
And I know we joked about it earlier, but do you think we see Silk Song this year?
I don't know what to think anymore. I do not know what to think anymore.
I genuinely now don't think it's real anymore. Like, I feel like it's died somewhere.
Give us a prediction. Come on,
I
Lewis.
think it's going to come out on the 14th of February.
Hey.
Yeah, I sometimes ask myself, what was it that you played in October 2019?
Jesus. It's absurd.
Yep.
Yeah. It's almost like annoying now. You almost like feel like you don't want to play it just because.
Yeah.
No. You toyed with our emotions too long. We've got 9 souls now. We don't need you anymore.
But it's just it's a self-fulfilling prophecy now. It's created far too much hype for it to be good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think it'll be amazing. When
It's going to be, it has to be massive if it was like already the same size as Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
It's just one of those that I'm not as hyped for it anymore because you can't retain that.
No. You can't stoke that fire for forever. Final one for me is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. I think that looks very cool. That was announced at the Game Awards, wasn't it? And yeah, same developers as Blasphemous. Cracking art style. Love that sort of just action platformer, old school style. I think, yeah, if they can do a similar thing to the first half of The Messenger, where it was just action platforming and combat before it turned into a Metroidvania. That was I loved that. So yeah, quite looking forward to that one as well. But I think that's it on my hit list.
I'm looking forward.
Sorry,
No, you go.
Lewis, you go first.
No, please, please.
I have a random Switch game on my list that I'm looking forward to. We are still due a Professor Layton game.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
The Age of Steam, isn't it, or something?
Yeah,
Is that what it's called?
that's the new world of Steam.
That's it.
And I loved Professor Layton. Like, that was just a great series of games. So I hope this one comes soon, and I hope it's good because I want to play it.
You know who else loved Professor Layton? My mum. She didn't play many video games,
I
but
love
she
your mum
loved
too,
Professor.
Ben.
Wow, you're right too. She's a wonderful woman, a saint. Lewis, what were you going to say? Not about my mum.
I was going to say I'm looking forward to playing all the 2024 games.
Well, yeah, that
Yes. I'm looking forward to our Game of the Year 2025 conversation. And Lewis being like, yeah, it actually is 9 souls. Yeah. That's brilliant. Yeah, that'll be good. So that's a whole lot of games coming up. But we can also look forward to roughly 50 more games of something we're about to play. In fact, that number's fucking ridiculous to think of it like that. But hey, maybe.
See if it survives that long.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Obviously, feel free to suggest different games. Happy to stop. Anyway, in the meantime, let's play. Guess the outro. Turbo.
It's very David Bowie.
That was a bit, wasn't it?
What are the rules?
The rules, very simple. The rules are as follows. You have to guess the outro music for this episode. And I'm going to give you 3 clues in descending gobshitiness order. And you have 10 guesses.
It's fucking written in front of me. It's written on this bit of paper.
Yeah. And then you have to guess. You got 10 questions. So go. Go. With
Give us a clue.
number... No, I'm not going to now. You've ruined it.
Game's cancelled, Lewis. He's taking the ball.
That's it. Going home.
Don't rush us at the question when we give you a clue.
Right. Clue number 1.
He's made it work. He's changed the clue. I can guarantee it. No, it really is going to be like, it's written in here.
Fuck you, Lewis. That's my clue voice.
Dark Souls.
This game had a €70 million budget.
Gollum.
Is that a big budget for games these days?
Not really, I don't think. Well, yes, it is. But
It's a lot of money.
yeah.
I don't know. I would assume yes.
So I would say it's not an indie. I'd say that rules out an indie. So where do we want to start here, Lewis?
When I think of bigger budget games, I think of like your Uncharted's sort of action game, you know? That genre doesn't exist.
Or could we could also go the other way and like work out if it was a flop in terms of how much money it made in
would
relation
you know?
to its budget.
Ben's not going to know. You have to give me 2 minutes so I can look that up.
I mean, I feel like the fact
Could you just spend 5 minutes rephrasing that question?
I feel like the fact that the clue is to do with its budget makes you think that it didn't recoup much of its budget. Recoup.
Recoo.
Was it done from above?
Would you know? Though, if they went no. Or it did flop.
Is that question 1?
No, I'm asking. This is Alex. You can
Would
put
I
your
know?
back
No,
on
I
mute,
wouldn't
Ben.
know, but it might help further down the line.
Yeah, perhaps.
Right, let's just ask a question.
You can ask that question.
Great idea.
Did it recoup its budget?
I don't fucking know.
Well, you should know all the answers. So it's not that relevant to being a flop then, so will we just ask another question, Ben?
Yeah, good idea.
Fine. Question 1.
Is it a platform exclusive?
No.
70 million. Was the... That's not a very good question. I was going to ask, was 70 million a lot of money when this game was made? But 70 million is a lot of money.
It's just list changed.
You could get a pork pie.
Did this game release in the last 10 years?
Yes.
There we go.
Is this game a Metroidvania, a platformer, a puzzle game, or an action adventure?
No.
Metroidvania action game.
Question 4.
Is this game part of a franchise?
Yes.
Part of a series, yeah, okay. 70 million. What do you think,
Have
Alex?
there been more than 3 games in this franchise?
Ask me another question and I'll come back to you.
God.
Do you want to try another few genres?
See if this quick clue at 5 is there has been more than 3 games in this franchise. Yeah, genre. What do you do? You done Metroidvania, action adventure, puzzle, and platformer?
Platformer, I think.
Is this game a sports game? A strategy game? Like Fire Emblem
Civilization
style?
type thing. No. RPG.
Is it
RPG?
RPG or another type of game?
So, what are those franchises again?
What, the games?
Sorry, the genres. Sorry.
The genre, sorry. RPG,
RPG, strategy,
and the first one that I said.
Sports.
Sports.
No, and no. And in answer,
Give it a clue.
and in answer to your previous question, would you still like that question to stand as well?
Need a clue first. Because that's still 5, is it not?
Yeah, give us a clue.
Fine.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good. Good idea.
Your clue is this game was developed over the course of 13 years.
Which
Now, do you
game
still-
has taken that long to develop?
Do you still want to? I have the answer to that question if you want to bank that question or not, if you still think it's a good question.
Do you want to use it, Lewis?
What was the question again? Is there more than 3 games in the
Three
franchise?
games in the franchise.
Yeah.
I think we could ask if the game was a flop. Because generally when games are in, well, I'd say when games are in development for that long, they tend to be shite. Thinking about Duke Nukem Forever, which was in development for ages. Oh!
The light bulb. What are you thinking, Lewis? Talk to me.
Ding, ding, ding.
Are there... I don't know if there's more. What was the development for 13 years? Are there animals in this game?
Are there animals in this game?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a playable...
Yes.
Right, so I think it's
There
Beyond
are
Good
animals in this game.
Alex, I think it's Beyond Good and Evil 2.
So has it released yet? Is that Bear?
It's definitely released. That's released.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 is not out yet.
Isn't it?
That's like, no, it's still like the running joke.
I thought it was released.
No,
I thought it came out like 10 years ago.
no.
Okay.
You're thinking of something else. Beyond Good and Evil is the one that's never... That Good and Evil 2 is the one that Ubisoft keeps saying is still in development. It's not ever.
Okay, I thought it was. I thought it
But
was
there's animals
released.
in it.
I'll take that question back then.
No take backsies. Question 7.
You mean you could try and see if it's an Ubisoft game?
Yeah. You answer. Use your question.
Is the game developed or published by Ubisoft?
No. Not
But it's
Ubisoft.
well, I mean, I could be confused, but I'm sure that game's never released.
Let me Google it.
No.
Try to think of other games that have been like developed for 13 years before.
Yeah.
So you've
Could
got
it be-
not a platform exclusive, not released in the last 10 years, not a Metroidvania puzzle or action adventure. It is part of a franchise. It's not an RPG,
wasn't an
strategy
RPG.
game or sports game. Yes, it has animals, and no, it's not Ubisoft.
Because I just suddenly thought like long development, and then I thought Starfield, but I'd imagine that was a bigger budget than that as well. And it's an RPG, so yeah, and it's technically a platform exclusive. So yeah, no, it's Starfield.
Animals.
like
What
what
a
you're thinking.
stupid question.
But there are animals in it. Oh, I mean, how could we narrow this down in terms of games that have been in long development?
And released in the last 10 years. Within the last 10 years.
Is there anything else that would help us? I feel like it must be a big publisher. Like with a 70 million budget, it's got to be one of the biggies, surely.
You could do what you do for genres with publishers.
What did we class
That might
Elden
help.
Ring as? Because that was in development for a long time, it's not. It was 13 years though, surely.
13 years. It's a long time.
Such a long time.
Could it be like, what about Final Fantasy? What was the last one? How long was that in development for?
Rebirth.
No, the last main one. The last non-remake.
16?
16.
I don't think it was that long. That was also an exclusive.
That's what it is.
We'll try some developers and see if we do that.
Sure.
What we do with genres. Like, was it Square Enix? I think it can't be Square Enix because I mean all they do is RPGs really. So, but EA, Take-Two-
Platinum?
Plat.
But
But do you mean like Bayonetta 3 or
what's
something?
the shit?
That's exclusive.
Yeah, what's that crap? Mighty Number 9, whatever the fuck it was called.
Was that not Kickstarter though?
Yeah. But I'm sure it was Kickstarted after there was worked on it already. I don't know.
Question 8. Still got 3
Is
questions
that an
left.
indie?
No, not an indie.
Just asking a question.
The panic question there. You know damn well it's not an indie. Next, question 9.
These clues that you've given us, I don't like them. Give us better
No.
clues.
They're pretty good.
It is a good clue. 13 years development. Man, it's a long time. Beyond Good and Evil 2. Sure that's released. Have we played this game? Any of us three?
Fantastic question. Yes. Yes, we played. Great question.
Sometimes that's a great. It doesn't. I've no follow up to this question. What is it?
I enjoyed that question.
Question 9. Have we spoke about it? Let's get to the clue. Have we spoke about it on this podcast?
What, this episode or
No. Any of the 20 odd.
It's question 10. Have we spoke about it on the 25? This is
The
episode
25.
Yeah. Yes.
Alex,
yes.
We have. Okay.
Yes. That's it. That's question 10. So,
Clue us, please.
now, do you want the original clue that I've written down, or do
Both.
you want one that I've come up with whilst chatting?
Both.
So which one do you think's better?
Which one's more helpful?
None of them. Seeing the wolf shite.
No, we'll stick with the one I've got written down. Actually, that's... No, do you know what? I'll go for this one.
Make your mind up.
Because this is in answer to one of your questions that I couldn't answer before, so this is a perfect clue. Okay? In the quarterly earnings report
Oh, Christ.
on Redacted, the company announced that while the game has not yet started generating royalties, it is close to fully recouping most of the development and marketing costs.
How does that help?
Okay, let me rephrase. Let me take out the redacted bit.
It's
I'll take out the redacted bit. That will help. In the quarterly earnings report on 1st of November 2024, the company announced that while the game has not yet started generating royalties, it's close to fully recouping most of the development and marketing costs.
Is this Alan Wake 2?
Can you remember what the marketing cost, the development cost was?
70
$70
million.
million.
70 million what?
Dollars.
Was it?
Repeat the clue.
70 million croutons. I don't know. What was it?
I'm not going to repeat the clue.
Oh, Ben, don't
come on.
repeat the clue.
70 million euros.
Euros.
It's Alan Wake 2.
13-year
It's Alan Wake
development.
2. It's Alan
Oh,
Wake
yeah. I think you might be right, actually. 13 years.
It's Alan Wake 2.
Was it in
didn't make all its
development
money
for
back,
13
and then
years?
they just said just as like the last DLC was coming out, that was just about to break even, because the story was that it had made all its money back. So Alan Wake 2, and Phil's probably nominated it for its music because he's been playing it. It's Alan Wake 2.
Happy with that, Lewis?
Of course.
It is Alan
Alex.
Wake 2.
Wow.
Well done, Alex.
Wow.
And Lewis.
I was here.
Lewis, you did that one question. Remember that really good question, though? That was good. That was
Yeah, we
good.
played it.
It all helped. Have they got animals in it?
Dear,
I
it does.
didn't
exactly,
think
yeah.
Alan Wake 2 had been 13 years old, but yeah.
Yeah, I think the original one came out, ages ago, didn't it? But hey, I'm just going off Wikipedia.
I don't think they've been actively developing it for 13
No,
years.
but they would have started development, and then Epic got on board, injected some cash, and blah, blah, blah. But hey, the Wikipedia page is there if you want to check these facts yourselves. But that one was actually not submitted by Phil. It was submitted by Reese.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think he's been playing it as well, hasn't he?
Has he?
Has
Yeah.
he?
I think so. He's dropped a couple of comments, hasn't he?
Has he?
I
I'm
believe
sure
so.
he bought it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's a very Reese game, so I'm not surprised.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 has not released.
That is
No,
correct,
I did-
Lewis.
I
Well
was pretty sure it had it, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. But thanks for quadruple checking that for us. But yeah. So that's, it's obviously the clue there, 70 million euros. Obviously, because they
I
are.
didn't even pick up in the euros at the
Well,
time. I
it's
thought I
little-
had dollars.
It's a clue, you know, you got to think of everything. That's a clue. You want euros? Why would he say euros? That's a clue.
Not many. Well, there's not
Because
many
you're very
big developers like that in
Exactly.
Europe. And then,
Exactly. And particularly in Finland, it is one of the most expensive cultural products ever to be released from Finland. So there we go.
I mean, that's good because I thought it came from Sweden, but
Do they use euros in Finland?
Scandinavia.
Do they?
I don't think they do.
Well,
Let's Google that as well.
not such a great clue then. But I'm sure somewhere along the line.
It is in fact the euro.
Yeah, I know. I knew that.
There's animals here as well, Lewis. Just
Yeah. There's animals in Finland.
I was
We've all
thinking that
learned
maybe
something.
be like, Denmark and Sweden. They don't have the euro.
Well, it's different, isn't it? And all that talk of Finland brings us to a finish. Oh! And let's close things out by listening to a track called... Oh, this is one of the, the chapter end songs that are really good. The best bit about Alan Wake 2. Those chapter songs. This one's called Follow You Into the Dark from Alan Wake 2.
I can't find my way back home since I fell down this rabbit hole. I love you so, but I had to go to find something of my own. I see their pattern on my mind.
Nintendo Switch 2, Assassin's Creed Shadows, GTA 6, and Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector.
Starward Victor.
Okay. Let's do this.